Hi guys, my name is Precious and you're welcome to this episode of Precious Kitchen. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make the perfect puff puff. Puff puff is a snack that is like deep fried dough. It is so delicious, eaten in a number of West African countries. If you've never made it, then I tell you this is one of those things that you definitely have to go into your kitchen to make. Today I'll be showing you how to make the perfect puff puff. So let's get started with the ingredients. So this is what you will need. You will need some all-purpose flour. Here we have 3 cups of flour, some warm water. The water should neither be too hot nor too cold. It should be slightly hot to the touch. That's about your body temperature. And then you have a teaspoon of salt. You have half a cup of sugar, and right here we have active dry yeast. This is a sachet of active dry yeast, which is equal to 2 1/4 teaspoons. So that's like the perfect measurement for some really light and airy puff puff. So let's get started with the cooking. The first thing you want to do is put your yeast into the warm water. So that helps to prove the yeast. When the yeast is looking good, then you can put in the other ingredients. Looking good for yeast means that it gets a little bubbly on top or it gets creamy. So you can see that little bubbles are forming on top. So that is looking good. So I'll go right in with the sugar and then the salt. Salt really helps to balance the sweetness of the puff puff, and puff puff is not a very sweet snack, by the way. You don't need a whole lot of sugar. You just need a little bit and some salt. That balances it up beautifully. So I'm just giving all of that a stir, and when they are all incorporated, I'll start pouring this mixture right into my flour. So I'll just pour and stir until it's really nice and smooth. So lots of recipes that will tell you how to make puff puff usually suggest a quantity of water to flour that makes your puff puff quite thick. Mine is a little lighter, and that's because I've discovered that when your puff puff when the mixture is really light, it gives you a nice soft airy puff puff. You just have to trust me on this one. Okay, now look at this mixture. It's looking like maybe what many people tell you to do, but to me that's just so thick. So I'm going to go in there with a little more water to give it that consistency that I'm looking for. So when I'm sure that it's quite smooth, I'll go in with the rest of my yeast and sugar and salt mixture. Here we go. Everything goes right in. You just have to trust me on this one. And then put in the sugar. Give that a good mix until it's all come together. You could also use your hands to do this. For some reason I'm just using my spatula today. Maybe because I'm in front of the camera. And now, ladies and gentlemen, look at that. You see, the spatula is really nice because, you know, when you clean it around, it just takes the batter off the pan nicely. I like it. Okay, so look at that consistency, and it must not look like very smooth, because once I started mixing it, I made sure the water got to all of the flour. So at this point you don't have to worry whether your batter is so smooth. So look at that. That is perfect right there. So this is what we are going to do. Puff puff is really easy to make. What we need to do to this baby right now is cover it and let it double in size. That will take about 2 hours, and I really insist on about 2 hours, because how long you leave your puff puff to rise matters a lot. If you leave it to rise just for a really short time, then that flavor that comes from the yeast, that the aged yeast, won't be there. So I like leaving it for a considerable amount of time so that I can really have that puffy flavor. Is there a word like that? Puffy. Okay. I'm not the best plastic wrap handler in the world, so just bear with me. So now, after I've covered this with my plastic wrap, what I'll do is I'll go ahead with a kitchen towel and I'll just make sure that is really nicely covered. So what I'm going to do to this baby is I'm going to put it in my pre-warmed oven. Warmed, emphasis on warm. I'm not asking you to bake this. I just like putting it in my oven when I've heated it for about a minute and turned it off, because that really makes sure that my puff puff is rising in a warm place. So after about 2 hours, I'll show you guys what it looks like. So the batter has been rising for about 2 hours. Let's see what it looks like. Oh my god, look at that. That has like doubled in size. So I have about 1.5 liters of oil that I've been heating up here for about 10 minutes. I actually forgot to tell you about the vegetable oil at the beginning, so you definitely need vegetable oil to fry your puff puff. So I'm going to drop portions of this batter into the oil, and I'll show you how I do it. So the first thing I do is I just dip my hand into water, and then I grab some of this. I know getting the perfect round shape with puff puff could be challenging for people, so this is how I do it. Then I just do this, and then when you drop your batter into the oil, if it bounces back up, that means your oil is hot enough. If it goes to the bottom and stays there, then it means your oil is not hot enough and you will have to wait for a little bit more. So let's do that. Let me show you one more time. Do it like this. And then there's another method which is actually more popular than the method I'm showing you. So when you grab the batter, for this other method you turn this way, and so I'll do the other method again. There you go. So I'll just continue with the one I'm used to. So if doing it with your hand is a bit of a challenge to you, just use a tablespoon, dip into water, you grab some of the batter and you drop into the oil. That should, you know, give you some almost round balls. So I'll do that until the pan is like almost filled up, but you don't want to overcrowd the pan, because if it's overcrowded it will not cook right through. And another thing I would like you to know is that your oil shouldn't be too hot. It should be hot enough, but it shouldn't be too hot, which means when it's hot enough, you turn it to about medium. So because if it's too hot, then your puff puff is going to get brown on the outside so quickly without getting cooked on the inside. So it's important that it cooks from inside out. So I'll keep going until when I'm sure that I have enough balls in there, then I'll let them cook. And when they are nice and golden brown, I'm going to take them out and place on my paper towel. Just go wash my hands. So when one side is nice and golden brown, I'll just flip to the other side. See, some of them are kind of stubborn, like you flip and they keep turning back. Oh my god, I always quarrel with them in my kitchen. I'm like, come on, turn now. So you just flip, like when it's just nice and golden brown. When the other side is nice and golden brown, that means it's ready. I'll remove and I'll put on my, I'll place right here. I have my little basket with paper towel to drain the excess oil, so I'll just remove and place on it. Puff puff. Yummy puff puff. Okay, so right now the puff puff is all nice and golden brown, as you can see. I'll just take it out and place on my paper towel to drain. Take it out and place on my paper towel to drain. Can you please show the paper towel? There. And really, that's how you make puff puff. I'll do the same thing with the rest of the batter. I'll show you what it looks like. The last one is frying, so I'll just get that out before it gets too dark in color. Oh my god, puff puff is ready. I'll just grab one and show you what it looks like. inside. Look at that. That's how puff puff should be, airy on the inside. It's still hot, but I want to go ahead and give it a try. So good. It's fluffy, slightly sweet, salty, slightly crunchy on the outside, just the way I want it to be. So that's the way you make puff puff. Easy breezy, right? Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll link the written recipe below so you can see all the measurements right there. Thank you and see you in the next video.